Thank you, everybody. Does this work? Will this work for him? Okay. We'll figure it out. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Really appreciate you showing up. I know we're a little bit of an anomaly on all the talk tracks here at the conference, but hopefully you guys find this just as interesting. So I'm Michael Corr. I'm founder and CEO of Duro. And
I'm Justin Sears. I run product marketing for cloud platform at Altium.
And let's get started. So today is actually, it's very comforting for me. I actually started my career as an electrical engineer. I moved out to the Bay Area almost 25 years ago during the dot-com, working on telecom equipment and radio and other antenna technologies. And I remember when I came to San Francisco as in my mid-20s and going to various parties at night, and I introduced myself as a hardware engineer, the entire room moved to the other side. It was software and software only. Our reckoning day has come back, right? So software did own the world for a very long time, but hardware is back, and it's back with a vengeance. And hardware is sexy again. It's very exciting. It's a very rapidly paced industry. Some incredible product categories are coming to market. Even some old ones are getting new life brought into them. Aerospace, robotics. It's very, very exciting to be in hardware, and I'm very proud to introduce myself as a hardware engineer these days. The parties are very different, also when you're 50. So while the product categories and the attraction to hardware has changed, unfortunately, the tool set that we're building these products on hasn't. They didn't get the memo, right? And so understandably, these technologies evolved predominantly in the 80s and 90s and what was the latest technology and business practice at the time, but that has changed. It's come a long, long way. And so many companies are trying to replicate what are now best practices. They've moved away from waterfall to more agile, rapid productions. The cost to produce hardware has come down pretty rapidly, so it's even easier to do short and quick iterations of hardware prototypes. But they're doing like a round peg in a square hole, trying to get their tech stacks to match the current processes to move just as quickly as they'd like to. And so, PLM has been around for 30, 40 years, and it's become a four-letter word. Nobody likes it, right? Because of these antiquated reasons. It's very slow, it's very cumbersome, it's a long onboarding process, very complicated. Many providers tout how many features they offer for you to configure with. I see that as a bug, not a feature, right? Today, customers just want to get up and running. They want out-of-the-box plug-and-play capabilities. They don't need custom solutions. They don't need complex workflows. They need something that just works. And so that's where the industry needs to move. And so what a modern SaaS enterprise product needs to have is basically three tenets. Cloud native, AI native, and one that I think isn't as well recognized or is underappreciated right now is programmable. And so with these is really what you should be looking for in any of your modern tech stacks, not just PLM. And so cloud native, I shouldn't have to say this, but I still do, right? Most companies today are cloud native. SaaS is just, it is what it is, right? It's prevalent, it's obvious. All new companies are starting in the cloud. However, there are still a handful of products that haven't gotten that memo, and they're still pushing their desktop-based applications. There are many benefits to being in the cloud, not just being modern, on both sides of the aisle. As a consumer, you obviously have transparency. You have worldwide 24/7 access. You forget your laptop at home, you can jump on another laptop, you can log into your account. You always have access to the information you need. You don't have to manage it. There's no IT costs. There's no support that's required. There's no waiting for every quarter or worse, every year for a new update or a new release and CD-ROMs that you have to install. You get constant updates to the latest technologies and latest improvements, bug fixes, new features, what have you. You can move faster. On the provider side, it's also beneficial because we can support our customers better. There's economies of scale. We can see exactly what's going on. We can troubleshoot issues before the customer even sees it. We can be pushing weekly or daily new features or bug fixes, And so being on the cloud, really, I shouldn't have to explain this or argue why it's a benefit, but unfortunately today, certainly in some of the hardware market, I still do. Something that is becoming more commonplace is AI native. And so many providers are also offering AI capabilities. Some of them are jumping on the bandwagon, not even knowing what they're doing. But there's a subtle difference when it's an AI empowered and AI native. AI empowered means someone bolted on some AI feature on top of a legacy product, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We all have heard these things of hallucinations, right? AI still gets stuff wrong, right? It's not perfect. It's incredibly powerful, but it's not perfect. And so when it is kind of a bolt-on feature, you increase the chances that the AI is actually going to be giving you incorrect information or doing incorrect operations that you ask it for. When it's AI native, meaning the data models, the APIs are designed to be compatible with large language models, and the way AI reads and processes information, you greatly reduce the chances of errors. And so that's something to look for as AI native. And the last, again, I think this is very underappreciated, is programmable. Okay, so at Duro, we've got some incredibly smart and talented and creative people, but we don't pretend that we know everything or will build every feature that every customer wants. And so you really have to open it up. In order to work in today's market, you got to give power to the people to build features and extensibilities that they want to build. And historically, you had to buy proprietary licenses or hire third-party contractors who were specially trained on how to customize or configure these enterprise applications. Those days are gone, right? Customers don't want that anymore. Especially the hardware community, again, that pendulum has swung. Many hardware companies that we talk to today, the electrical and mechanical engineers can code. They know how to write software, and very well, too. And you compound that with Claude Code or any of your favorite AI tools, and now everyone, in a good way, is empowered to write their own tools, their own software extensions, their own plugins, whatever the case may be. But you can't do that if the platform isn't programmable. If it's a closed-door solution or there's friction to get access to configurations, you're going to stifle your potential. You're going to stifle your creativity. You're going to stifle your flexibility and growth. And this stuff, this is real. Like, this isn't a hypothetical. Like, customers on Duro's platform are actually proving to us that they're 3 times more productive. They can move faster. They can access information immediately. Information is dissipated within milliseconds, not days or weeks, or waiting for emails to be opened. Because of the pace that some of our customers were able to move at, they were able to beat their own milestones and raise additional funds because of their performance. And some customers have even been able to save tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, because of the immediate access, that digital thread they had to information that historically they had to take weeks to look up and recover from when there's supply chain issues. So why now? So I'm momentarily going to introduce my colleague, but some of you may be asking, well, what is the Duro Altium relationship? Well, Duro and Altium have been partners for quite a while. We've had a great plugin with the Altium platform for quite a few years now. We have a very common user base, and Altium made a wise decision in October to acquire us. So I'll let Altium have a few words on that too.
And to be clear, it wasn't my decision to acquire them. I was very happy when I heard the news. So again, I'm Justin. I'm with Altium. And Altium, in turn, is owned by Renesas, a Japanese chip maker. And really bringing all 3 of these points of view together is giving us an end-to-end view on the art and science of developing hardware. And so we're very excited about the coming together. We still wear our respective logos separately. That's a process that will take a little bit longer. That's coming together. But really what Duro adds to the Altium suite, and especially our new Altium offerings that are cloud-based, is we can offer that velocity that Michael was talking about from very early initial concept and requirements and thinking about the design templates that you want to use, reusing design blocks in the initial design stages, all the way through to testing, releasing to manufacturing, and getting things built. And so I'm just here to answer questions. I'm going to give it back to Michael, but just encourage all of you to come over to our booth. We can show you some demos about what this means, bringing these 2 things together. and also a new way, and what we believe is a much more agile software-first way to design and develop hardware.
So I don't think I'm saying anything new. I think everyone in the room already understands this principle that hardware, our industry, our market, our culture is changing in a fantastic way. We're moving faster. We're able to prototype. We're able to come to production in a fraction of the time that we used to. But the tools have to keep up, right? The tools that we rely on to be able to deliver at this pace need to keep up with us. They can't slow us down. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
And happy to take any questions if we have a few more minutes.
Yes?
So the question is that if you think about the tool you design for maybe the PCB, right? For the Altium tool. Now think about additive manufacturing, right? Do you think any feature to enhance or anything that you think you will need to develop to really help this community? So printing, from printing to the printer, right? Those things that you
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll make some conjecture on your specific processes. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But the advantage of having the cloud-based, the digital thread, the out-of-the-box connectivity, and the API-centric is you can connect disparate products very quickly. So you have a continuous thread from CAD all the way to your production floor, whether it's MES or whatever the product is that actually starts the job to print. And with that, an engineer can make a change, submit, win their CAD tool of choice, preferably Altium, push it to Duro, go through a change order within minutes. The Duro's, because of its automation, can pull in information not just from the CAD, but any kind of requirements management or supply chain management to give you context to be able to quickly and thoroughly review that change, saying, yes, this is good to go, and then push it down to your shop floor. And that can happen within minutes, right? Then maybe you have someone, we see this all the time, someone's on the shop floor and they're like, great, that worked on paper, but now they're like, I can't build this because of XYZ. They put in a change request back in the platform, and again, minutes, it gets back to the CAD engineer, they get it, and it's that constant feedback loop, right? And that applies to any industry. It's not, additive manufacturing is just one of many, but because of the cloud, because of the APIs, because of that digital thread, there's no more emails, there's no more delays, you have instant feedback.
And I'll just add one little thing to that. Part of that digital thread on the Altium platform, we're going to bring in the components that go into whatever you're building. So we are connected 24/7 to a live stream of information on availability, price, end of life on tens of thousands of different components. And so that's another way that your design might get out of sync with the reality in the world and the reality that we're all living in right now, where things aren't necessarily going to show up, components aren't necessarily going to show up on time and at price than what you originally designed for. We help you keep up with that without having to go to another tool or outside of your design environment.
Great.
Any other questions?
Great.
We'd love to talk with you more. Come over by our booth, and I understand that it's near the beer stand this afternoon, so if you're there waiting for a drink, come see a demo, ask us more questions. We'd love to talk more.